I think what's important really is to have a player that can support you with, if you suddenly need to shift from one place to another, that is capable to do it. And that we're capable to do, of course, and provide them the necessary information and what they need for it.
And I want a good show, damn it. Ready for a good show?
Doing awesome, yeah. I'm excited to talk to you, Angie. Thank you for having me.
Yes!
I've always been big into archery, and my dad said, hey, you guys want to start an archery store? Yes, that's how it was. Andrew, yes, of course, let's do this together.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the E-Comm Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Ecomm Show. As usual, I am your host, Andrew Maff, and today I am joined by the amazing Carmit, who is the CEO over at Ship4wd. Carmit, how you doing? You ready for a good show?
Great. Being here is wonderful. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you on the show. I know you were on the show last, I think it was last year, I believe. A lot has happened since then. A ton of stuff.
Like all word back and forth.
Yeah, so we're gonna figure out where to even start. I do want to start it off just to give everyone a little bit of a recap. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about Ship4wd, and then we'll jump right in. Okay?
Sure. So, as you already introduced myself, I'm the CEO of Ship4wd, and I kind of devoted my life in the last 25 years to logistics and supply chain, and to make sure that global world and trade is moving, and worked and in various location and geography in Asia, China, Hong Kong, Europe, US, and also Middle East. And really, I have to say, got a deep knowledge about global trade, logistics, and how everything rocks around the world. Established Ship4wd 4 years ago with the sole aim to get that understanding and knowledge with the support of a very top large carrier, Zim, as an investor, to provide asset and information to small and mid-sized businesses in the States. And since then, that's my focus, that's my team focus, that is our focus, to really provide everything that's possible for small businesses to able to and manage their logistics around the world.
Beautiful. One of the interesting things, so I know we're going to get into all tariffs and supply chain issues and all that fun stuff, but specific to SMBs, like as you know, and I think we mentioned this on the last time we spoke, anything operations, inventory, it's just not my wheelhouse. So to have a conversation with you is always really helpful because it helps me learn a lot about that side of things. And the one thing I always see, especially when we're speaking with SMBs like all day long, it's a constant pain point, right? It's anything logistics. It's not the most sexiest thing to some. It's always some type of issue going on, whether it's at like a port or it's something's delayed and blah, blah. And obviously now with the tariffs, it's a whole issue. So what is it about Ship4wd that helps kind of like resolve some of that for smaller brands?
So I totally hear you, and thank you for giving the stage for actually small businesses to raise their concern and pain point, because obviously they are no different than large corporation, but obviously large corporation have the ability of having team in-house knowledge, lawyers, so on and so forth, experts that can support them in this turbulence. And I have to say, since COVID, we are living in a non-stop turbulence environment. So We kind of hoped that after COVID is done, we go to, business as usual, but business as usual have never crossed us since. So it's definitely a serious concern for small businesses running without that, support system and structure as other large corporations that have. And this is by us and what we are trying to provide. So, of course, we cannot provide everything, but we definitely can provide a place where small businesses can reach out and get information and get support, no matter if they have 10 shipment or 100 shipment or 1,000 shipment. We deliberately chose to focus on this segment, and by deliberately chose it, we cut everything else. So we don't give support to corporate and to everyone, but deliberately really focusing on one small businesses required. And not to say we are there, but we are definitely seeing the process of having the support structure for SMEs through Ship4wd. So in the current stage, for example, when we see that really a lot of businesses kind of a halt, they don't know what to do, they don't want what to choose, there's so much information or maybe lack of information, and there is a lot of noise, and it's very difficult to understand what to do when there is a lot of noise. So we offer an expert call, we offer podcasts on this subject, on customs, on bonded warehouses, how you still can find solution if your cargo is on the way and you cannot pay that tariff right now and you believe the tariff will be reduced. Can you store your cargo in a bonded warehouse, and then you don't need to pay this tariff for this period of time? Or there are various tools of engineering custom. I mean, by law, right? If you can find a way that reduce the tariff for yourself, if your cargo or your product may contain certain aluminum that is 25% and up, this is also a way to reduce those type of tariffs. So there is various ways, and I think there is a lot of noise right now and very difficult to understand for any business what to do. And we position ourselves as one that deeply care about those businesses, really want to support them, even if they need to shift for a different origin or to source from another supplier. That also something we can help and support with. So there is various of ways, and it's very there is no study book that you can go and ask. So ChatGPT, I'm not sure if you can get around that, but definitely we have expert and knowledge that we can and support, and we are backed up by a public group, so we have actually more resource to be able to provide those businesses.
I would like to take a break from today's episode to thank our sponsor, Ship4wd. If you run an e-commerce business that ships products from Asia to North America, you know how stressful the journey can get. With too many suppliers, emails, quotes, customs, delays, it's a lot. Ship4wd makes it simple. It's a digital freight forwarding platform built for small and mid-sized businesses. Think booking a shipment like booking a flight. Just search, compare, and book, done in minutes. Instant quotes, express shipping options, real-time tracking, and 24/7 human support. Add services like customs clearance and cargo insurance for the full end-to-end experience. You can try it for free today at ship4wd.com. So as of this recording, all the tariffs are still in place. There's all still different across every different country, which I imagine becomes wildly complicated, especially if you're shipping from one, fulfilling to another, et cetera. I can just imagine how annoying it may be. For small brands right now, e-commerce brands, what are most of them looking at? What are most of them doing? Are they looking at sourcing elsewhere? Are they looking at fulfilling differently? What tends to be kind of the standard approach right now?
I think there are various approach, and actually there is no one type of approach that fits all. But we do see customer asking if we can support them with other origin, like India, like Vietnam, South Asia, Asia Pacific, even Brazil. We're looking at Turkey. There are various, let's say, other options that they are looking for to source and to get their goods for their own customers. So that's happening for sure. I think what's important really is to have a player that can support you with, if you suddenly
Yeah.
need to shift from one place to another, that is capable to do it. And that we're capable to do, of course, and provide them the necessary information and what they need for it. And so that's definitely happening. We can also see Eastern Europe that is coming up now
Hmm.
with customer asking about Poland and various Eastern Europe countries. So I think it's a chaos right now, and everybody try to find a solution and find a
Yeah.
way to move forward. That definitely happening. Also, some customers really looking for a bonded facility solution because they predict that this high tariff will go down. So I cannot say anything about it.
Yeah.
It's I don't
You mean you
have
don't
a
know?
miracle ball. Sorry, I've not spoke with the administration, and I have no idea what will happen. But I can hear more and more noises in the last week that actually believe
Yeah.
that those tariffs will reduce in the end, that this will not stay. And we're also hearing from news outlets, right, that they're talking about a conversation with China, start negotiation with China. So that's not such a unreal thought.
Yeah.
So bonded facilities are now really hype in the US to find storage place that is bonded, that you can actually store the goods till tariff will be reduced. If you believe us, the tariff will be reduced.
Yeah.
So this is also something that happening as well. And I think there is more and more, like, I don't know if it's wishful thinking or if it's reality, but I see more and more do believe that those tariffs will not stay that high at
Yeah.
145%.
Yeah, I agree. But obviously, to all of our administrators who clearly listen to our podcast, please reach out to Carmit and let her know what's going
Please.
on so she can tell us. The I mean, speaking of similar categories, the one thing I've always kind of thought, the like freight, logistics, everything in terms of fulfillment, it always seems like a pretty outdated industry. Like it's very especially with all the tariffs now, it's making it that much more complicated. But now people are shipping all over the world, they're delivering from all over the world, or they're fulfilling from. So like what's kind of driving that innovation behind the scenes? Like what are a lot of, like, I guess specific to Ship4wd, what is it you guys are doing to kind of bring that innovation to kind of a more outdated industry?
I think what we aim to do is provide full accessibility to services from everywhere. I'm not saying that we can do everywhere, but I'm saying that we are building the machine and building a company to be able to serve various location and to provide services from various location. And it's not easy because in our industry, um, customs in Turkey is not like custom in China or nor like in Poland. So there is variation and differentiation. But we want to provide a standard product, easy to use product, no matter from where you actually source your good. So that is our aim to do. And in that
Hmm.
case, really simplify the whole process for small businesses, e-commerce businesses that actually are not expert in logistics and actually should not. They are expert in their business. They are focusing in growing their business, and they need really a strong right partner that is accessible, easy to use, support them, 24/7 around the clock. And this is what we are intent to do. So various in this crisis, when you need solution from different places, we will be able to provide you that, and it's not such a cumbersome operation. I think the difference between Ship4wd maybe to other supplier of logistics, I don't expect the customer to know logistics. This is my
Yeah.
this is what we need to provide them in a very easy to use, like booking a flight on to go. Now, I'm not saying it's the same, but that's what we want to bring in.
Yeah. Interesting. The I mean, with that, because a lot of like e-commerce brands, they find, starting to fulfill globally is, I guess you'd say, scary to a lot of them. Every time we talk to brands about it, from a marketing perspective, I understand because your messaging's different, and obviously culturally, it's different depending on where you're going.
Correct.
But even from a fulfillment perspective, they're often pretty hesitant, and I can never speak to it because I'm like, I don't know if it's easy. I don't know if it's hard. But like, what are your thoughts on that? What do you say to brands when they say like, we don't want to do that because it seems too complicated?
First of all, totally their choice, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
definitely. I think you're afraid of something you don't know, and getting into new markets, there is a lot of unknown, and it's always scary because if one thing
Mhm.
business like, it's certainty and knowing what they do. And when there
Yeah,
is new markets, culturally wise, marketing wise, it's different. Then it's scary because they feel they don't have the grasp of that. But it's definitely, if that's your vision as a business, which is to expand globally into new market, you definitely need the right partners to do it, because not every partner can provide you that knowledge base and information. I think that
yeah,
is the most important thing, to choose right and to make sure that if you are expanding to certain markets, also on the marketing side, but also fulfillment side, logistics side, partners that can support you expand globally. And I think that's not easy. Trust, of course, in that, and also the buying and believe that that can be done. But look, fulfillment, logistics happens everywhere, and
yeah,
businesses doing well also in other geographies, right? So it's definitely, it's not rocket science. It's definitely can be done, but I think, of course, it's scary when one don't know the full picture and doesn't fully understand where it goes. Where in your
yeah,
current market, you learn, you've been part of, you have a learning curve that you expect, which is fine. But if that's your vision, go for it. You will
yeah.
find a way. It's happening
Do you
there as well.
Yeah. Do you provide insight into like, based on what we know about your business, you're already selling well here, you should consider, opening up to this other country, or even vice versa of like, hey, we know you want to go to this country, it might not be a good move yet. Like obviously at a high level, they're only, it's again up to them, but do you provide some of that insight of like, hey, here's the countries from a fulfillment perspective that might be easier for you to get into?
We have never done it because I think that it's really a personal choice for a business, and we will
Yeah.
support them wherever they need. But I will never direct them to a certain country or a certain place, because again, maybe I know the story from fulfillment and logistics, but I don't know if what cash flow they need, what issue in the marketing they will face,
Yeah.
what cultural differences for the product, what is the demand with the supply for the product. I do not know the full picture. I can only advise in what I'm expert at and know it, and I cannot provide them,
Yeah. Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
yeah, send a ticket, go there,
We won't put you on the
because
spot.
I cannot. I would never do something that I'm not an expert at, and provide
Yeah.
like a real, quality feedback.
Yeah. What do you think ends up happening when these tariffs kind of like once it shakes out? If it goes the way
If
you think it's going to go, what do you think the outcome's going to be, and what do you think like brands are going to need to do to adjust to whatever that potentially new norm may be?
So if the tariff will be reduced, I do believe they will, but I'm not sure to which level. In any case, my guess is that they will not be reduced to what it used to be. We are talking about 19% that was
Yeah.
before all of those tariff increase. So I believe they will be reduced, but not to the level that businesses used to before. So this is a very good question, because each business know is margin, is cash flow. what they can deal with, what they cannot deal with. So it's very difficult for me to say as a general, recommendation what to do. So it's very specific, but they will be reduced. And then businesses need to figure it out at this level. Would I be profitable? Do I need to make changes? Do I need definitely be open to other sourcing, other country sourcing, or even within China, there could be more cost cutting to be done with different suppliers and sourcing. So I think businesses that were, very they found the suppliers they work with for a certain time and they have great connection. Somebody moved the cheese, and
Yeah.
really you need to look at your supplier base, diversify. I've said it, I think, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Always try to diversify, because then you are not limited, and no matter what happens, you have ways to let's say work with the situation to your benefits.
Yeah, I agree. Carmit, just like last time, awesome. Really appreciate you joining us today. I would love to give you the floor, let everyone know where they can find out more about you and more about Ship4wd.
So please, we are at www.ship4wd.com. You can find me also on our website. You can reach out. We'll be very happy to support the best we can. Thank you so much, Andrew. It's always a pleasure. Call me again.
Not a
I will be
problem.
here.
Yeah, we'll bring you on again next year and
Who
figure out
knows?
like
Who knows what will happen next year?
it'll be a whole new problem.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Obviously,
Thank
as
you.
usual, everyone who joined, thank you as well. Please make sure you do the usual: rate, review, subscribe, all that fun stuff on whichever podcast platform you prefer, or head over to the ecommshow.com to check out all of our previous episodes. But as usual, thank you all for joining us. See you all next time. Have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to the Ecomm Show. Head over to ecommshow.com to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or on the BlueTuskr YouTube channel. The Ecomm Show is brought to you by BlueTuskr, a full-service digital marketing company specifically for e-commerce sellers looking to accelerate their growth. Go to BlueTuskr.com now for more information. Make sure to tune in next week for another amazing episode of the Ecomm Show.